This is not my first experience with involuntary hospitalization.
Shocking news is just weeks after trying to destroy Jonah Hill's life, Sarah Brady is involuntarily committed. Now, by her own admission, she required restraint. And get this isn't the first or the second or even the third time that this has happened. No, according to her, this is the fourth or fifth time that she's been put in the hospital. I mean, this is the person the mainstream decided to weaponize and destroy Jonah Hill with. Yeah, it puts a little context to those messages, doesn't it? Where Jonah Hill is talking about, hey, I'll pay for your therapy through years in. Alright, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. So Sarah Brady dropped this bombshell video here in which she admits involuntarily being committed. She shows marks on herself that say that she required restraints and more. Yeah, let's check this out together.
It is actually looking less bad in the photo and video than it really is. I'm trying to show, but the camera just doesn't want to quite color in the darkness of the purple in this one. Okay, here's a bit better lighting. Yep, and I was like strapped down, couldn't move my arms or anything. Oh, look at that, the lighting changed. You see that? See how it looks lighter now? The first shot was actually closer to how dark it is. Oh, whack out there. Oh yeah, I was never informed of anything illegal I did. They just asked if I was intoxicated. I clearly stated no. I had had nothing that day. I had had a beer the night before or something like that. And then they asked if I have any mental health conditions, and I was honest. I don't know if it would have gone better if I said no. Like, I don't know what the they put in me. Oh, there's no marks on this wrist, but it's been bothering me since that ambulance ride. Just like feels injured a little bit, you know? Because I was strapped down. Multiple straps, wrists, arms, Velcro. I was not violent. Like, why the gotta do that? And like, gonna laugh at me, like, as if I'm no longer a human being. It's like if, consider if it was like a bear in the wild, like not a big, grown, aggressive bear, but like a cub or something, and they just strapped it down and like its mouth and all over its face. Like, wouldn't everyone be freaking out over poor treatment of animals? Or what if it was your dog? Like, the fact that I'm comparing to that is just, oh my god. This is not my first experience with involuntary hospitalization without due cause or without a clear determination that I was a threat to the safety of myself or others, which is the legal definition required to involuntarily hospitalize someone. And I know I'm not the only person that's been through this, so, you know, take care of yourself, be safe as much as you can, and I don't deserve some settlement just because I have an Instagram following when there's all these other people out there going all the time. Yeah, I hope I can provide some resources in the future. Don't really know what to do about this at the moment other than be public for my safety.
Now, she adds to this, too, while moving on from Jonah Hill to now blaming the mental health industry while she's involuntarily committed here. Yeah, remember, this is the same person that, when the mainstream media weaponized them, they said Jonah Hill, he was using therapy speak against her. He was offering to pay her mental health bills. That was some kind of control. Yeah, apparently she needs those services. Check this out here. Quote, "This is like my 4th or 5th time being put in the hospital and treated like a street dog. So she's been involuntarily committed 4 or 5 times. Didn't hear about that at all while she was going out trying to wreck someone's life years after the fact, by the way, right after he had had a baby. So I wasn't very shocked, but it was the most violent I've ever experienced. And I think it's been long enough for me believing in all of these diagnoses and playing along that now I'm just like, bleep it. What do I have to lose? Feels safer for me to be very public about it than for me to be discreet and pretend to be ashamed of the diagnosis I've been given and continue to, except that my rights can be taken away at any time. Now, from there, she talks about substances being found in her system, her being diagnosed after that, and her getting out of her involuntary holds by just playing along. So, she's telling you she's mentally ill. You could see that on display, by the way, weeks while she was going after Jonah Hill. But listen, in her own words, quote, "I've learned from the past that the quickest and safest way for me to get out of the psychiatric hospital is to go along with whatever diagnosis they decide, play the part, take the meds. So that kind of what I've been doing since then." Now, after telling you that she just plays the part, she decides that she's going to blame the EMTs, the nurses, psychiatrists, therapists, and I find it really interesting. Psychiatrists, though, they were having fun riding to her aid when she went after Jonah Hill. Yeah, she blames you for all of her problems. I mean, this seems like something that is diagnosable. But listen to this here. Quote, "The cops asked the questions, and the ambulance nurses and EMTs were violent with me. The psychiatric section of the ER was not violent with me, but they left me to sleep in concrete floors and concrete walls with a mat on the floor and a blanket, and that's it. They do that, by the way, for your safety. I'm in mental health myself. What you do is you don't want somebody to hurt themselves or to hurt other people while they're on a hold, so you remove everything but the basics. Then you figure out how to stabilize. After stabilization, you go from there." Now, for me, that seems to add context to some of the things that Jonah Hill was saying in messages. Things that, well, they were manipulated by the mainstream. They were manipulated by Sarah Brady. Things like this. You can see it right here in the middle about paying for therapy. Please take care of yourself. I'll be happy to pay for your therapy through the end of the year, even though you'll somehow punish me with that gesture. But I don't care because it's best for you. Now, when that was stated, you even had mental health professionals coming out and saying, oh, he's trying to manipulate. He's trying to gaslight. No, this is somebody that is diagnosed, somebody that says that their conditions, they don't exist, that has been forcibly hospitalized against their will 5 times that we know of. Yeah, they blame everyone else. And again, this is somebody that obsessed about a boyfriend 2 years after the fact, right after he had a baby, tried to blow up the relationship. What does it take? What does it take to say, hey, maybe a little caution is in order?